Morning, everyone. So today it's a cold, super crisp day, and we're gonna head out and look for some coyote sign. And if the stars align properly, hopefully some coyotes. So we've got a ton out here, and just hope we get in the right place at the right time. And if not, I'm sure we'll find plenty of sign and interesting stuff around. So let's go searching. So this is pretty damn cool. So this is a burrow of a mouse in the ground, kind of moving underneath the snow rather than over. That kind of insulation going through in this direction, burrowing through in that way. Kind of see it cracking out in the snow, then back underneath. So there really is this whole separate world of rodents moving under the ground and trying to be as insulated as possible away from the cold. You know it's cold when your phone is attached to the external battery charger, and even despite that, without even being active, it's losing battery power. So we'll see if we make it through the day. I'm at least in a spot that's a little bit sunny right now. Super beautiful, but also really, really cold. So even when they're about a day and a half old, the set of tracks here is just super, super clear. It's really, really nice definition around the heel pad. Beautiful. So starting to warm up a little bit. Hopefully the batteries on the phone will start to not die quite as quickly. I haven't really seen any new coyote sign since the stuff that I saw yesterday when I wasn't really recording myself. But still just kind of a beautiful, really super gorgeous landscape with lots of snow on the ground and lots of things to see, even if it's not necessarily new. So we'll see what the day holds. So I was out here yesterday, and this whole area, the section of prairie dog colony, is just completely covered in coyote tracks. I think because there are so many prairie dogs out here, they're really important food source for the coyotes and badgers and other creatures. But if you look at just like all these tracks in circles around the prairie dog hole, there's probably several animals that were just constantly moving around, kind of trying to dig at the snow. You can even see, well, you may not be able to see, but I can see a kind of paw print over here, just like right on the edge of the prairie dog hole, almost certainly kind of sniffing down there, trying to find the animals that are kind of currently underground since it's so cold. Then you can see a separate set over here. Those same animals then kind of moved from that prairie dog hole up to over here, went around this hole, sniffed it out, tried to see if there was anything, went to over here. And this one has quite a lot more tracks than the last. It really is just kind of amazing how much activity there was here. Just, not doing a lot of moving on. They're like absolutely like circling these burrows, trying to flush out the critters. And you can see like all of these separate track sets. There's one here, there's one here, there's one here, there's one here. So it's probably several animals that were moving around in this area. Well, I heard some coyote calls from out this way this morning, and these tracks, unlike a lot of the other ones, look a little bit fresher. Like there's a lot more definition along the heel pad and stuff like that. And these are kind of moving in the same direction. So I think what I'm gonna do with the time is just kind of follow these a little while and see if they actually lead to anything. So you can get some coyote footage. So because mice and other rodents are so small, they'll tend to lose their body heat really, really quickly in the winter. And as a consequence, they're often looking for little, little alcoves, little bits of sticks and logs and things like that to try to hide away from the weather from. And I think coyotes, just as much as we do, understand this. And so if you kind of look at this area, you can see all sorts of coyote tracks all along here, just kind of searching for these little holes. Like you can see this little spot. Well, maybe you can see it, probably not. In this little spot here, there's a burrow. So all throughout this area, there's just all sorts of coyote activity, walking along, searching for little bits of traces of rodents. They kind of moved up here. So there must have been several of them, maybe like 3 or 4 coyotes, just kind of wandering this area, seeing whether they can find any of the rodents that are kind of hidden in these logs and other brush piles. And they go in this direction. And again, this is kind of where I heard them earlier today. So I'm gonna keep kind of walking in this direction and see if we can find them. And worst case, you can still start to trace out some of their stories and see what they have to tell us. So should be fun. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do is, there's a little field out in that direction. It's kind of an open area, lots of kind of grazing locations, rangeland sort of spot, getting out of the trees. I think I'm gonna hike down there, take out my binocular, see if I can spot any coyotes kind of on the horizon somewhere, and if not, start to work my way back. Quite happy what I've seen so far. Even when you can't see the coyotes, you can see their activity on the ground and what they've left and all that kind of stuff. So it's still been a really, really nice hike and pretty fun morning. All right, well that's it for today. That was a pretty solid walk out there. Really enjoy just kind of wandering around in the snow and finding some of the coyote tracks and getting kind of a more of a feel for where the coyotes are moving around the landscape. So no actual coyote footage today, but it's all just one step at a time. It's figuring out where the animals are and just having the stars align, and otherwise just enjoying your time outside, finding wildlife sign, and just enjoying your time in nature. So I think with that, that'll be the end of the video. If you haven't subscribed already and are interested in the content I'm posting here, please subscribe. I'd really love your company. And until next time, wander and wonder. Hope you all get some outside time yourselves.